Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Cucu Nurhayati. My student number is 12350301994. I'm from class 6C. So in this section, I would like to present about my research. And the title of my research is Politeness Strategy and Persuasive Appeals in Rare Beauty's Instagram Advertisement. So in this study, I examine how politeness strategy and persuasive appeals work together in the Instagram advertising caption of Rare Beauty. To analyze data, I use Brown and Levinson theory of politeness strategy and also Aristotle theory of rhetorical appeals, which include ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay, first I would like to explain the background of this research. Language in advertisement is never natural. Every word, every phrase, every expression is carefully selected to build trust, make emotional connection, and also to persuade customer. As Cook 2001 argues that advertising language function is not only to inform but also to influence. So in this research, I combined two theoretical perspectives, Brown and Levinson politeness theory and Aristotle rhetorical theory. Okay, and then the object of this research is Rare Beauty caption. In Instagram, the cosmetic brand founded by Selena Gomez, which is well known for promoting inclusivity, self-acceptance, and also emotional well-being. And I also identified a research gap. A previous study have generally examined either politeness strategy or persuasive appeal separately. Very few studies have combined both framework in the analysis of Instagram advertisement. Therefore, this research aims to fill the gap. And then purpose of this research is to analyze the use of politeness strategies and persuasive appeals in Rare Beauty Instagram advertisement. More specifically, this study aims to explain how language is strategically used in the brain advertising caption to build emotion connection and maintaining relationship with customers. Okay, next is literature review. In literature review section, I discussed two theoretical framework used in this research. The first is Brown and Levinson of politeness theory, which is based on government concept of face or social self-image that people want to maintaining during interaction. And then Brown and Levinson identify four politeness strategy. The first is bold on record, which is direct and explicit communication. The second is positive politeness, which aims to create solidarity and closeness. And then third is negative politeness, which respect the listener autonomy and freedom. And the last is off record, which conveys meaning indirectly through implication, metaphor, or humor. And then the second framework is Aristotle rhetorical theory, which consists of three persuasive appeals. The first is ethos, which refers to credibility and trustworthiness. And then the second is pathos, which appeals to emotion. And then the last is logos, which relies on logic, fact, and evidence. And also review several previous studies conducted by Nurhayati et al., Dongbanje and Kamicheneng, and then Harris et al., and Ayuning Tias and Jannah. These studies mainly focus on either politeness or persuasive separately, which further support the importance of this research. Okay, and next is methodology. This research uses descriptive qualitative approach because it focuses on understanding and interpreting language phenomenon within their social and communicative context as suggested by Creswell. And then the data consists of 15 advertising captions taken from Rare Beauty official Instagram account that published between March and May 2026. And then for the analysis, I apply Brown and Levinson politeness theory and Aristotle rhetorical framework. And then for this research process began with collecting screenshot and transcribing the caption. After that, I conducted a class reading, classified the data according to theoretical frameworks, and then interpreted the finding, and then analyzed how these strategies work together to build emotion connection with customer. Next is finding. From the 15 caption analyzed, I found all 4 types of politeness strategy proposed by Brown and Levinson, combined with Aristotle rhetorical appeals. The most dominant strategy was positive politeness, which appeared in 7 captions. That was followed by negative politeness and off-record, each appearing 3 times, and the least frequently used strategy was bold on record, which appeared only twice. Regarding rhetorical appeals, the combination of ethos and pathos occur most frequently, especially in caption use positive politeness. Meanwhile, logos appear across all type of politeness strategy. Next is sample. The first is from positive politeness. The first example demonstrates positive politeness, which was the most dominant strategy found in this research. The caption is 48 shades, 48 stories, one community. In this caption emphasize inclusivity and a sense of belonging. The brand presents each shade not merely as a cosmetic product, but as a representation of each individual unique story. And then the praise one community creates as a sense of solidarity and fulfills the audience's positive face need by making them feel accepted, valued, and included. And from a rhetorical perspective, 48 Shades established the brand's credibility and commitment to diversity, which represent ethos, while 48 Stories create an emotion connection, and then that representing pathos. Together, these appeals help strengthen both trust and emotional engagement with customer. The second sample is negative politeness. The sample illustrates negative politeness combined with ethos and logos. The caption is, "No vanity, no problem. The true to myself natural metal long wear foundation blend easily and build seamlessly, even you're applying on the move." So this caption acknowledges that some customers not feel comfortable with traditional beauty standard or the concept of vanity. Instead of imposing a message, the brand offers a flexible and subversive solution. This approach respects customer autonomy, which is the main characteristic of negative politeness. And then, from the rhetorical perspective, the product benefits such as blend easily and build seamlessly provide logical reason to trust the product. And then, that is representing logos. Meanwhile, the authentic tone and product identity contribute the brand credibility, and then that is representing ethos. Next, the third sample is Africa's strategy combined with logos and pathos. The caption reads, When the train is moving, but your makeup is not. Okay, description communicates the product benefit indirectly through a everyday situation. The contrast between the moving train and the stable makeup encourage readers to interpret the meaning themselves, which is a characteristic of the off-record strategy. From a rhetorical perspective, the implied claim about long-lasting performance represent logos, while the relatable and slightly humorous scenario creates emotional engagement and confidence that representing pathos. So this playful and direct style makes the advertisement memorable and appealing. Okay, the last sample is Bald on Record, which was the least frequently used strategy in this research. The caption is your best skin instantly. This message is direct, clear, and efficient, which reflect the characteristic of the Bald on Record strategy. Its short and straightforward form quickly attract attention and encourage customers to try this product. And then, from the rhetorical perspective, the clear promise of benefit represent logos, while the use of the word your and the expression instantly create personal relevance and emotional appeals, representing pathos. Okay, next is discussion. In this discussion section, I found that the dominance of positive politeness support the findings of previous studies conducted by Dongbanji and Kam Chuang, as well as Nur Fauzia and colleagues. However, this study expands those findings by showing that rare beauty combines positive politeness with both ethos and pathos simultaneously. As a result, the brand does not only create interpersonal closeness but also strengthen its brand identity. And then, the frequent combination of ethos and pathos differ from Harris-Metal findings, which identify ethos as the dominant appeal. However, it supports the finding of Ayuning Tias and Jannah regarding the importance of emotional appeal in advertising. Okay, in addition, the relatively how of Bald on Record strategies contrast with findings from studies of Maybelline advertisement, where direct language was more dominant. The differences reflect rare beauty's relational and emotionally oriented brand identity. Overall, this finding demonstrates that politeness strategy and persuasive appeal work together and complement one another in creating persuasive advertising discourse. Okay, the last is conclusion. To conclude this research presents several important findings. The first is politeness strategy was the most dominant strategy, appearing in 7 out of 15 captions. This suggests that rare beauty prioritizes emotional closeness, inclusivity, and a sense of community. Second, the combination of ethos and pathos was the most frequently used rhetorical appeal, indicating that the brain emphasizes about credibility and emotional connection. And then the third, the use of off-record and negative politeness strategies show that the rare beauty also respects customer autonomy through indirect and creative communication. And then finally, this study demonstrates that Brown and Levinson politeness theory and Aristotle rhetorical theory complement one another in explaining how persuasive digital marketing discourse is constructed and how brain build a relationship with customer. Further studies may expand the amount of data or apply additional theoretical framework to gain a broader understanding of digital advertising discourse. Okay, maybe that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention. I hope I get a high score for this presentation. Maybe that's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.